Most men never learn this truth about desire. Watch closely, because once you see it, you'll never see attraction the same. Most men spend their lives thinking attraction is about looks, money, or status. They think women choose the man with the best face, the biggest wallet, or the flashiest car. But that belief is wrong. It leads to frustration because even men with money and looks often fail when it comes to desire. The real reason she chooses a man is not something you can see in the mirror or park in the driveway. It's invisible. It lives in her mind. She doesn't fall for what you show on the surface. She falls for how you make her feel when she is near you. Think about it. She might say she wants a kind, sweet, reliable man. She might tell her friends she wants romance, safety, and someone who will treat her well. But when she finally gives herself to someone, it's usually not the safe man. It's the one who unsettles her, excites her, and makes her feel a storm she cannot control. That's because attraction doesn't follow logic. It doesn't care about checklists or polite manners. Attraction is about energy, tension, and mystery. She is drawn to the man who can stir emotions she cannot predict. If you are too clear, too open, too predictable, you kill that fire before it even begins. Many men think that being available all the time and laying out all their feelings will make her choose them, but this only makes them easy to read, easy to control, and easy to forget. The truth is simple. The less certain she is about you, the more she burns for you. The more she feels she already has you, the less she desires you. Desire grows in the unknown. Niccolò Machiavelli once said that those who show weakness before the right moment are destroyed when the moment comes. In relationships, the same rule applies. If you give her all your attention without balance, if you answer every message instantly, if you flood her with praise she hasn't earned, you hand away your power. And when you hand away power, you hand away desire. A woman doesn't crave a man she fully understands. She craves the one who makes her question, the one who makes her wonder, the one she can't figure out. She feels alive when she doesn't know what you'll do next. So the real reason she chooses you isn't money or looks. It's not comfort or safety. It's whether she feels your strength over her emotions. Can you guide her feelings while controlling your own? That is the true test. If you can, she will desire you in ways you never imagine. If you cannot, she will move on, even if you're rich, handsome, and kind. But here's where most men fail. They believe kindness and constant attention are enough. Now you'll see why that mistake kills attraction faster than anything else. The mistake most men make. Many men believe attraction works like a simple formula. Be nice, be available, be reliable. Show her that she is the prize, and eventually she will reward you with love. It sounds logical, and many men live by this idea, but logic doesn't create desire. The problem is that attraction is not built by safety alone. It doesn't start with comfort or approval. It starts with tension and mystery. When everything feels too clear, there's no spark. When you tell her too much too soon. When you are always there. When you never let silence or space exist, you kill the curiosity that fuels attraction. Think of it this way. If she already knows everything about you, what is there left to imagine? If she feels she has you completely, what is there left to chase? Curiosity dies, and so does desire. This is why men who act like nice guys often fail. They give too much before she has invested anything. They confess feelings before attraction has grown. They remove all uncertainty. And without uncertainty, there is no pull, no tension, no reason for her to think about you when you are gone. Machiavelli understood this truth in politics, but it applies in relationships as well. He said weakness shown before the right time leads to defeat. When you make yourself too easy to reach, too quick to praise, too eager to please, you show weakness. And weakness in attraction means you give away control. A woman may still enjoy your company. She may even keep you around for attention, but she will not feel deep desire for a man she can fully control. Control kills passion. She desires the man who shakes her certainty, who makes her wonder what he feels, who leaves her a little off balance. That kind of man is hard to ignore. The nice guy's mistake is thinking more giving equals more attraction. The reality is the opposite. The more you give too soon, the less value you hold. The less you give, the more she works to fill the space. This doesn't mean being cruel or cold. It means knowing when to hold back, knowing when to stay silent, knowing when to let her wonder. That silence and distance create tension, and tension is the fuel of attraction. So the fatal mistake of weak men is this: they try to buy desire with kindness. But desire is not for sale. It comes only when she feels a storm inside her, pulled in two directions at once, safe yet uncertain, wanted but not in control. If you become the man who creates that mix, she will desire you deeply. If you don't, she will see you as just another safe friend. But how do you make her feel this storm without forcing it? Now, you'll see how presence, not words or gifts, becomes your strongest weapon. Attraction doesn't start with expensive gifts, long speeches, or endless compliments. Those things might look good on the surface, but they don't create the spark that makes her want you. The real power lies in something harder to fake: your presence. Your presence is the energy you carry when you're near her. It's the calmness in your body language, the control in your eyes, and the confidence in your silence. These things can't be hidden behind words. She feels them before you even speak. Most men make the mistake of showing too much interest too early. They look more excited than she is. They act more available than she feels. They invest more energy than she has given. That imbalance kills attraction. It makes her feel she has already won you without effort. And what's won without effort is rarely valued. When you show up with presence instead of need, the entire game changes. You no longer act like the man begging for her attention. You act like the man who already values himself. You're not trying to buy her approval. You're letting her feel your energy. This doesn't mean being rude. It means being measured. It means letting silence work for you. Instead of filling every moment with words, you pause. You let her wonder what's on your mind. You let her imagination do the work. That pause creates tension, and tension is what builds attraction. Society often tells men, just be yourself, be honest right away, or say what you feel. Honesty has its place, but attraction doesn't grow from full honesty too soon. If you give everything away at the start, your feelings, your plans, your interest, there's no space left for mystery. And without mystery, there's no chase. Women don't crave what they fully understand. They crave what makes them curious. They want to feel something they can't explain. Your presence is what creates that gap. It makes her wonder why she feels drawn to you without clear reason. Think about the difference between a man who tries to impress her with stories, jokes, and compliments versus a man who stands calmly, looks her in the eye, and says little. The first one entertains her. The second unsettles her. She can't stop thinking about the second because he didn't give her the full map. That's the power of presence. Presence shows self-control. It shows that you don't need her approval to feel strong. It shows that you are not desperate to please. And when she senses that, her curiosity grows. She starts to think about you when you're not around. She starts to imagine what else is hidden behind that calm exterior. That's why presence matters more than words. Words fade, jokes are forgotten, compliments lose power. But the way your presence shifts her emotions, that stays with her. If this video opened your eyes, you'll want to watch How to Instantly Identify and Remove Worthless People, Machiavelli's Rules of Social Pruning. It reveals the hidden tactics for protecting your energy, cutting dead weight, and surrounding yourself only with people who bring real value. Why mystery wins. Attraction doesn't reward fairness. It doesn't grow because you're polite, patient, or good-hearted. Many men think being nice should be enough. They expect kindness to bring love. But desire doesn't work like a trade. It doesn't exchange good behavior for passion. The truth is, mystery is what drives attraction. A woman doesn't obsess over what she fully understands. She obsesses over what she cannot quite figure out. The more she knows, the less she burns. The less she knows, the more her imagination fills the gaps. This is why the so-called nice guy loses. He reveals everything too soon. He confesses feelings before desire has had a chance to grow. He explains every thought, every plan, every emotion. He puts his whole self on the table, and in doing so, he removes the tension that creates attraction. She doesn't have to wonder who he is. She doesn't have to ask herself what he feels. It's all clear, and clarity kills curiosity. Machiavelli understood something about power that fits perfectly here. Power is never given away freely. Power is managed, measured, and controlled. If you want to create desire, you cannot hand her the full map from the start. You must let her imagination work. You must create space where questions live. This doesn't mean lying. It doesn't mean pretending to be someone else. It means controlling the flow of what you reveal. It means not rushing to show every part of yourself. Instead, you let silence and pauses speak. You let her mind wander. You let her wonder why you act differently than other men. When a woman feels there is something more to you than what she sees, her curiosity grows. She asks herself, does he like me as much as I think? Why doesn't he react like others? What is he hiding? Why do I feel drawn to him even when he gives me so little? These questions echo in her mind. Each echo strengthens the pull. Mystery works because people don't crave what they already own. They crave what feels uncertain, what they're not sure they can have. If she feels she already has you, she'll move on. If she feels she can't fully read you, she'll keep coming back. That's how obsession begins. Think of it this way. When you tell her every detail of your life in the first week, you give away the ending before the story even begins. But when you let her discover parts of you slowly, she stays hooked. She keeps turning the pages, waiting to see what comes next. That is why mystery wins. Not because it's a trick, but because it creates space for her emotions to grow. It gives her something to think about when you're gone. It keeps her imagination alive. But mystery is only half the equation. The other half is scarcity. Now you'll learn why making yourself rare increases your value in her eyes. Scarcity is one of the strongest forces in human psychology. When something feels limited, people want it more. When something feels common, people lose interest. This same rule applies in attraction. If a woman feels she can have you anytime she wants, there's no urgency. She feels no risk of losing you, so there's no reason to value you. But when she feels your presence is rare, she treats it differently. She holds on to it. She thinks about it when you're not around. Think about everyday life. Water from a tap is abundant, so you hardly notice it. But a diamond is rare, so people chase it, protect it, and pay fortunes to own it. The difference is not usefulness, it's scarcity. The mind assigns higher value to what feels limited. Women live surrounded by attention. Their phones light up with messages, likes, and compliments every day. This constant flow of attention is abundant, and abundance lowers value. If you act like the rest, too available, too eager, too quick, you disappear into the crowd. Your goal is not to be another option. Options are easy to ignore because they can be replaced. Your goal is to be an opportunity, and opportunities are rare. When she sees you as an opportunity, her mindset shifts. She feels urgency. She feels she cannot risk losing you. She feels she must act before someone else takes her place. This is why controlling your availability matters. If you reply instantly to every message, if you're always free when she calls, if you're too easy to reach, you lower your value. It doesn't mean ignoring her on purpose. It means giving your time in measured doses. You're not always there, but when you are, the moment feels strong and unforgettable. Scarcity works because it adds weight to your presence. She begins to notice the difference between you and others. While others flood her with attention, you give her just enough to spark desire, not enough to satisfy it. That gap makes her crave more. When she realizes your presence is not guaranteed, she starts to protect her place with you. She works to keep your attention. She feels she has something rare, and that fear of losing it makes her chase harder. Most men fail here because they confuse scarcity with distance. They think disappearing for weeks will make her value them, but too much absence only makes her forget. Scarcity is not about vanishing. It's about balance. It's about being present in a way that feels heavy and rare, not constant and common. When you create this balance, she feels both tension and urgency. She knows she has your attention, but not all the time. She knows she can feel your presence, but only in moments that matter. That mix of uncertainty and value transforms desire into obsession. Up to now, you've seen how mystery, presence, and scarcity build attraction. But knowing the theory is not enough. You need actions you can use in real situations. Attraction doesn't grow from luck, gifts, or endless words. It grows from controlled actions that stir emotions without begging for attention. Here are 3 practical steps that work again and again. Step 1. Intentional eye contact. Most men ruin this without even noticing. Some look with begging eyes, silently asking, "Do you like me?" Others avoid her gaze because they're nervous. Both reactions kill attraction. The right way is calm, steady, and focused. Your eyes should not say, "Please choose me." They should say, "I'm deciding if you're worth my time." Hold her gaze, but don't rush. Don't fill the silence with random words. Let the pause hang. Add a small, unreadable smile if you want. That silence is not empty. It's heavy. It makes her wonder what you're thinking, and that wondering creates tension. Tension is the fuel of attraction. Step 2. Emotional ambiguity. Attraction dies when everything is too clear. If you tell her too quickly, "I like you, I want you, I'm in love with you," the game ends. She already knows she's won. There's no mystery left. Instead, speak in a way that gives and takes at the same time. You can say things like, "You're interesting, but I'm not sure if that's good or dangerous. I like talking to you, for now." Phrases like these create imbalance. She feels unsettled, curious, and wants to prove herself. She wants to close the gap you've opened. That gap is where desire grows. Ambiguity is not weakness, it's control. Step 3. Strategic withdrawal. This step scares most men, but it's one of the strongest. When she's enjoying your presence, when she's invested, when she's wanting more, that's when you disappear. Not for weeks, not in a childish way, just long enough for her to notice your absence. That silence creates anxiety. She starts to ask herself, "Did I lose him? Is he with someone else? Did I do something wrong?" That unease pulls her closer. She feels a gap she needs to fill, and the only way to fill it is to reach for you again. When you return, she returns harder. She works to hold on to what she fears slipping away. Withdrawal is not about punishing her. It's about showing that your presence is rare, that your attention cannot be taken for granted. These 3 steps, eye contact, ambiguity, and withdrawal, are simple, but when you use them with control, they create the exact mix of tension, mystery, and scarcity that turns interest into obsession. Remember, you don't need to explain yourself, you don't need to buy her attention, and you don't need to beg. Desire grows when she feels unsettled, when she feels curious, when she feels she cannot fully control you. These steps guide her emotions while keeping your own in check. But even with these steps, there's a darker truth. Most men ignore it, and it costs them everything. Now you'll see why safety destroys desire. Here is the truth most men never accept. A woman does not give herself fully to the man she understands. She does not crave the one she can predict. She does not desire the one who is easy to read, always clear, always safe. Safety brings comfort. Comfort is good for friendship, stability, and peace. But desire doesn't grow from comfort. Desire lives in tension. It grows in uncertainty. It survives in the silence between words and in the mystery of not knowing what comes next. When a woman is drawn to a man, it's often because he confuses her. He doesn't reveal everything. He doesn't explain every emotion. He leaves her wondering. That wondering is not weakness. It is fuel. It keeps her awake at night, thinking, questioning, trying to understand what she cannot fully control. Most men try to impress her with gifts, compliments, or availability. They believe these things will win her heart. But those things only create comfort. And comfort without tension becomes friendship. She may like you, she may enjoy your company, but she won't crave you. What she craves is the man who shifts her emotions without asking for permission, the one who makes her heart speed up just by walking into the room, the one who makes her mood change without saying much at all. That's what she feels as desire, not control, not logic, not safety. Here's the dark truth. When you do this right, she won't see it as manipulation. She won't think you're controlling her. She will feel it as natural, as something she cannot fight. To her, it will feel like you've awakened a side of her no one else can reach. She won't know why she wants you, but she will want you. This is the difference between the man she forgets and the man she cannot escape in her thoughts. The man she forgets gives her everything too soon. The man she cannot forget controls himself, controls the silence, and lets her imagination work. Remember this, you're not just another man trying to impress her. You're the one who understands what most men ignore. Her body follows her mind. If you own her mind, you own her desire. Don't chase, don't beg, don't explain. Control the scene, control the silence, control the perception. If you do, she will fall without knowing why. That's what true desire looks like. That's what most men will never master. That's the end of today's video. If it gave you something to think about, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Comment below and tell me what part stood out most to you. I want to hear your thoughts. Share this video with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to save it so you can come back whenever you want a reminder. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.